Have you noticed pink or red patches showing up in your lawn lately? At first glance, what is this? Is it a dead spot? Is it a pet urine spot? What you're actually going to be dealing with is most likely red thread. If you're seeing that pink to reddish tips, it's not as serious as it looks. It can actually be fully recovered in a few short weeks. What's up, everybody? It's Jordan with Lawn Doctor. We're here today at another lawn, actually customer's lawn. We're looking at red thread. We're going to be looking at why it shows up, when it shows up. This is one of the most common early spring to early summer lawn diseases you're going to see, and everything you can do to help prevent it, fix it, and keep your lawn looking green. Let's dive in. Red thread is a fungal disease that grows on cool season grass. It gets its name from the pink and reddish spore-like structures on the surface of the disease that you can commonly see when you're looking at it. And every year when homeowners start to see these pink and red patches, they assume that their lawn is just dying and there's no help. We're seeing a couple patches here and there, but then we walk up to this part, we can very clearly see it here. We got a nice patch of red thread. You can zoom into that. You can barely see the spores on that. Just that light pinkish and reddish. And it usually comes in patches. So if you look at this area, this whole little area here is pretty much affected, and it can follow through in the lawn as well. Here's the worst part of the area. You can clearly see the disease. We're going to talk about what you can do to fix this. So lately here in West Michigan, we haven't had much rain, but it's been very hot and humid, and so we haven't really seen a lot of fungus pressure. With this most recent week, we had a couple of cool nights, and we finally had that rain arrive that we needed. But with that rain, that's going to give the opportunity for fungal growth to happen, and here we have the fungus showing up. So red thread thrives in cool, humid weather, just like we experience here in West Michigan. And again, we typically see that late spring to early summer and when moisture levels are high. But one of the biggest reasons that red thread can develop is actually nitrogen deficiency or not enough nitrogen in the lawn. More than likely, lawns that aren't getting enough nutrients or aren't on a program will be more prone to this disease than lawns that have an annual program that actually get the nitrogen that the lawn calls for. But that isn't always the reason thread shows up. It can even show up in lawns that we fertilize. There can be other factors. One factor is excessive moisture. If your lawn is wet all the time, you're watering every day, your lawn is wet going into the nighttime, that's a factor that can affect red thread and let it thrive. So if you have a very thick thatch layer, you don't aerate, the water just kind of sits on top of that surface of that soil, again, more prone for that fungus to show up. Extended periods of cloudy weather, because if you have more cloud cover, you're watering too much. Again, those lawns aren't going to dry out. Therefore, any wetness, that fungus is prone to grow where areas are wet and do not dry out. The last thing is heavy dew that sits on the lawns for extended periods of time. Again, that lawn's not drying out, therefore we're prone to red thread showing up. So let's say you're not sure if you have red thread or not. Here's what to actually look for. Typically, you're going to be noticing patches from a few inches to sometimes even a few feet across. Here, a lot of these patches are just starting, so they're only a couple inches wide. Secondly, the grass may appear tan, pink, or light brown. We definitely see that. It's a tannish color. We got that pink fringe on the top telling us it's red thread. That tall tale sign you're looking for is those reddish, pinkish tinges of those spores sitting on top. I have a spore just sitting here. You can clearly see that spore is red, pinkish in color. That's your tall tale sign you have red thread. If you see those spore-like structures that are pink or red, there's a very good chance that you have red thread in your lawn. Now let's talk about what you can do and how you can get rid of it. One of the first steps is improving your lawn's nutrition. So you want to be on an annual fertilization program that's delivering the proper amount of nitrogen so we can rule that out. Since red thread is often linked to low nitrogen levels, a lot of times if you just do a nitrogen application, when you have red thread, it will actually grow that grass up, grow that disease out, and you'll not have it anymore. So that's one of the things that can cure it, one of the things that can solve it, but it's not always the case. The next thing is we want to keep this lawn dry going into the nighttime. So that means we want to do deep and frequent watering. We want that lawn dry, so we want to water, between that 4 to 8 a.m. in the morning every other day. Therefore, our lawn is dry going into night, because lawns that are wet going into night are a breeding ground for fungus. Finally, you want to mow regularly and avoid mowing more than 1/3 off of your grass blade, because then that can leave your lawn looking short. It can also leave it scalp. Another thing with mowing is you want to make sure those blades are sharp, because if those blades are not sharp, they're dull, they're going to be ripping that grass instead of cutting it clean. When you rip that grass, you can leave the ends open. Those ends of the grass blades can actually leave it open to disease growth and fungal pressure. The big question everybody asks is, do I need a fungicide? A fungicide is a product. Most of the times it's a curative. A lot of times it's a liquid. It can be a granular. And what that fungicide is going to do, it's going to take away that fungal bacteria that's in the lawn or in the soil, causing that bacteria or fungus in the first place. But in most cases, especially with red thread, it's one of the easier ones to actually get rid of. 95% of cases, we don't need a fungicide. We just need a quick shot of nitrogen. Just, again, we want that grass blade to grow up, grow that disease right out, cut it off with the mower. You're all good most of the time. Fungicides may be useful in this case and other cases, but a lot of times if you fix the cultural practices, proper fertilization, proper mowing, and especially proper watering in the summer, those three things alone can help clear up any fungus disease you may have. All right, so we're gonna be applying today a liquid fungicide with a little bit of liquid soil amendment. It's gonna help attack that red thread and just pretty much help the grass grow out of it, right? How do you mix a backpack or apply products to a backpack? Well, in most cases, it's a 4-gallon battery operated backpack. You wanna fill that backpack halfway and about 2 gallons. You wanna add your product in and you wanna fill the other 2 gallons up. That way, you're not getting all your concentrate on the bottom and you're not getting it watered down if you do it when it's full. You want it right in the middle, right? Whatever you're filling up, fill it halfway, product, and fill the rest up. Got our H2O line here. Another thing too with these products, a lot of these liquid products, is they can settle out over time. So you want to make sure you shake them nice and good before you mix or open the top. That way the product's fully mixed up, the active ingredient is equally applied to the whole container. All right, applying our little product in here. All right, so this other product, this is gonna be kind of the soil amendment we talked about. It's gonna be those humic and fulvic acids, the sea kelp and the molasses. This one calls for about 4 ounces per 1,000, so we need a total of 16 ounces going into the backpack. Another pro tip for you guys, you never wanna leave these full of product, they can harden, and you never wanna mix 2 products you don't know what's been in here previously. We're gonna rinse it out with water. Put it right back in, and we're good. All right, got our product, give it a little bit of a shake. We are good to get going. All right, and as you can see, I got my gloves, I got my long sleeves, and since I'm applying a liquid, I even got my rubber boots, especially no open toe shoes or regular shoes because this liquid's kind of go and be absorbed into that product. So again, you want a rubber boot if you're spraying a liquid product. In this case, we are. Now let's get this red thread. I gotta wait till it turns brown. There we go. Remember, if we're gonna just throw it on a fungicide, but we're not gonna change any of our other cultural methods, you may just be wasting money because that disease will come back again because those underlying issues are not fixed, so make sure you fix those first. So again, here we have this little red thread patch here that we're working with in this lawn. This homeowner wants to focus on these 3 things. They wanna properly fertilize with nitrogen, cut at the proper height, so 3 inches or more, and make sure that mower blade is nice and sharp, and they wanna water deep and frequently every other day with 1 inch of rainfall per week. If they do that, that's gonna very much help you and be on your way to clearing up this issue, keeping your lawn green all season long. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in on this video of red thread. Follow our series here. We're in summer now. We're gonna be looking at diseases all summer long. Follow us. Let us know if you have any questions, concerns. We'd love to help you out. Till next time, thanks for watching.